As we explore and as we discover the power of using our emotions toward manifestation, toward self-realization and understanding who you are and how amazing and beautiful you are, you have to come into really knowing how to harness your emotions. And there are a lot of emotional obstacles that can come in the way when understanding how to use your emotions to create the things you want to create in life. Now, we do know that you can be successful, you can materialize, you can manifest many things without emotions. You can just simply be a person who strategizes things, has a plan, and will just lay out and follow that plan to a T. But emotions is what makes life fun, what makes life amazing, and the process by which you learn how to harness your emotions will ultimately lead you to make sure that this process of life and materializing and manifesting the things that you have decided to create is going to be way more fulfilling and way more enjoyable in life, because it is our emotions that really ultimately is the expression of the joy behind the things that we do. And without emotions, you may even question what's the point. Without feeling good or enjoyment or fulfillment or satisfaction or happiness, maybe even sometimes sadness or feeling melancholy and all these different emotions, without all of those, then what would be the point of life? And this is why we have to really respect and honor the process by which we experience emotions, the process by which we learn to harness our emotions and use our emotions to create the things that we decide to create throughout our lives. Now, when it comes to acknowledging that you have some emotional obstacles, it comes great maturity. And some of the obstacles that may come up is really feeling an emotional block, not really knowing how to harness these emotions, knowing how to access these emotions, and particularly trigger these emotions to be ignited and engaged when you go through this process of creation. You see, because yes, strategy is important, understanding your purpose, your talent, understanding what it is that you want to achieve is important, but knowing how you feel throughout this process is the thing that's going to be most important for you when bringing this idea to life, when bringing this concept into manifestation. And as you bring this to life, it also brings you to life. It brings a level of satisfaction and joy, because the energy of emotion is not only the energy that is going to bring to life the thing that you have decided, but also bring you to life because it is the thing that supports you at accessing your nature as the creator of your universe. Now, as we talk about getting over obstacles, emotional obstacles, there's a few things that I want to recommend to help and support you. And I'm not wanting to very complex techniques on how to access your own potential or your own power. So these techniques are very simple and things that you can apply and practice to help you along the journey of accessing your emotions in order to support your creative process. The first thing I want to talk about is being able to access your triggers. You see, a lot of times when it comes to emotions, many of us are very emotional and we are easily triggered to react, to respond to something that has pulled the trigger or pressed the button within our egos, right, within our subconscious mind to react to something that has happened similarly to something that has happened in the past. And because of that past event, our subconscious, our ego has created a reflex, right? A pattern, a habit, a reaction to something similar to it in order to protect yourself. Now, as you acknowledge that emotions are something that may be an issue for you, meaning that you may respond or react emotionally really fast without having the time to rationally think through how you're going to respond, how you're going to act, how you're going to move in a particular way to make sure that you move in alignment with the things that you want. Many times what we do is we react to something and then we regret it because the reaction doesn't align with the things that we want in life. And so you must create a space where you can access the feelings, but not respond with the feelings, not respond to the feelings. When you access the feelings or the trigger, then you have the ability to dive deeper into why that trigger exists in the first place. So that way you can heal from it, you can learn from it, and you can grow. So what I recommend doing is actually practicing self-triggering. Many times when you are triggered, it is random. Somebody else does it. It happens randomly. Of course, not at the best of times or best situations. In this case, though, you're going to take charge of this experience of being triggered. You're going to actually trigger yourself. And it's going to take some practice, and it takes some time to actually feel comfortable with it, so that way it actually works for you. So be present, be patient with yourself, and be patient with the process. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself in a safe space, your home, your bedroom, someplace safe where you won't be interrupted, and you will be able to actually have the emotions that you're going to trigger and be able to have time and have the space to calm yourself down in a way that won't interfere or interact or exchange with other people at all. So put yourself in a room, your room, a meditative space where it is quiet, it is calm. And now think about a time where you were last triggered. And I want you to go back into that moment in every way possible. Take yourself back into that moment in your mind, in your heart, with your emotions. Let that well up. Let that feeling well up within you. And then visualize exactly what happened to you, your reactions, your response, and how you behaved during that moment. Now, you will feel a sense of that same energy, that same intensity. Okay, though it may not be exactly at the same level as when it actually happened, you will feel a sense of it. And when you feel that, the more you feel of it, the better. And now what you're going to do is, because remember, now you're actually in a safe space. And now you're actually in a space where you're alone by yourself and you can be completely transparent and honest about how you feel. So as you go back and reminisce and think about that moment where you felt unsafe and you reacted in a way that wasn't aligned with who you are or who you wish to be and what you wish to create, now you're going to take a minute and really think about your reaction and how you can do something differently or how you could have done something differently. Recognize that this isn't about feeling bad about what you did. This isn't about shaming yourself. This isn't about feeling guilty. This is about accessing and creating a skill where you can have an emotion, but do not react in a way that is counterproductive to what it is you wish to create throughout your life. So you have to recognize that this feeling is a feeling, and you have to access, okay, why am I feeling this way? What exactly was triggered? You may have a memory of what was triggered. You may not. You may just simply be left with the feeling. And if you are just left with the feeling, that is okay as well. Sit with that feeling. Recognize that feeling. Recognize that that feeling doesn't mean your life is in jeopardy, that everything is going wrong, right? Recognize that it is a feeling. And once you recognize that simply the feeling is there, then you can bring yourself to the present moment and recognize that you're actually in a safe space, right? You're in your room, you're in your home, you're in a nice tranquil area, you're calm, you're alone, you're with yourself, which is the most safe person, right, you can be with. Now, once you pull back from the emotions and you come into the present moment, then you're going to take yourself to the most relaxing, the most calm feeling that you can go to. Okay? So you're going to go from triggering yourself to taking time out to bring yourself to a very calm and relaxed state. And that's the exercise. It's just that simple. That is really about breaking through these emotional obstacles, right, that is causing you to react, to change, to be manipulated, to be out of control, right? And it allows you to create a skill set where you are actually building yourself up to be in control of all of your emotions. Sometimes we can't control the emotions themselves, but we can control how we respond to the emotions. We can control how we react with these emotions. The second technique on really cultivating and bringing control over your emotions is for people who don't feel like they can actually express their emotions. They feel a lot, they hold it in, and they cannot express it, they cannot let it out. Now, if you're that kind of person, this is what I suggest, is to yell. Yelling is by far one of the most profound, most beautiful, most fun things to do. Now, you want to be mindful. You want to be in a safe space. You want to be in a space where if somebody hears you yelling, nobody will panic. Nobody will call the police or the fire department. So you want to be mindful that this space has to be isolated. And what I recommend is if you have a car and you're driving on the highway, that you take the time then to actually practice this. And what this does is it allows you to be capsulated actually, right, in your car. You're driving down the highway so people can't hear you, and you just simply yell with everything you have. And this will release that built up energy, that pent up emotions that you may have, whether they be good or bad. Sometimes people can't feel safe and comfortable to express positive feelings and emotions. But normally it is the negative emotions that we find hard to express and let go of. And so when you practice this skill, right, because it is a skill of yelling, right, in a very practical sense, you are releasing yourself from all of the negative energy that you are holding in by holding your emotions. Allow yourself to let them go. So when you're driving down the road or on the highway, you can just simply yell. Yell as loud as you can for as long as you can. And this will allow you to feel free. This will allow you to open up any of the blockages that you may have emotionally. Because when we hold in our emotions, it essentially begins to block everything that's going on within ourselves, our bodies, our consciousness. And so we have to learn to release all of that energy somehow. And when you do that, you learn to balance out your energy, right? When you practice these two techniques, you learn to really use these techniques to bring a sense of equilibrium to your consciousness, to your body. And that brings a sense of control, but also a sense of feeling not overwhelmed, feeling free. And feeling free is a big part of allowing yourself to create in a space that is going to really be a sense of ease, really be in a sense, carefree, and enjoyable. So practice these two techniques and it will help you tremendously. It will help you tremendously. And they're very simple techniques, nothing complicated about it. Simply allow yourself to be triggered in a safe space. Bring that triggered emotion down to a calm, positive, peaceful emotion, right? And then the second technique is yelling. Just allow yourself to yell in a safe space when you're by yourself and release all of the pent up negative energy, sometimes positive energy, and allow yourself to be free. So that way, when you are in the process of mastering this manifestation, you are learning to direct your emotions in a way that is most productive towards you being the person you truly are, which is the God of your universe. Thank you so much. Continue to join me on this journey. Feel free to visit drabundant.com. Peace and abundance always.